Tell me, Bernard and Perlita, how could you have ever helped me or Brian when you guys basically took our stuff, raped and tortured and mutilated our friends, jacked it all up, and then lied to the world with a carny show for the Antilla? That guy's been running back and forth in Ellery in them little boxes. How did you ever help me and Brian and my friends after jacking up all that shit and then running the fucking slant that you all do? How? How did Joe and them do that to put in All American? You guys knew it only maybe worked once or twice. The point is, Bernard, you can't fucking lie to that many people who've experienced it and then fucking run a toilet dump when you're done with it. And then come march around in a circle expecting it to reset. That maybe happens once in a lifetime. Then you guys had a war over it. And then you guys said that I was here for it. Maybe, but not really. I told you, Bernard, if I existed down south down there and I had died, or if that was Brian, Joe and them wiped it. So how are you helping by doing Carney Show and Ghetto Life and Country and Western when you know that stuff wasn't here before? You're also disrespecting other people's work that was prior to hold in what's left of that memory while you guys march in Negroes and they're all proud, stealing and stinking and screwing up the other guy's stuff. Bernard, how are you helping, man? How do you help when you're crushing stuff and busting it open and, you know, think it's funny to be fag, breathing all that crap? How's that helping Kim or that? How is that helping telling everybody that I killed somebody that I didn't? How is throwing bitted fat people all in our fucking way helping when they weren't before? That's the whole argument, is that we were telling, but before you guys were even around, Ellery and them, that they should be in a certain type of condition for it. That most of the four of you wouldn't be able to hack it out. And you didn't. We told you don't red tube it. Harry and them did that anyway. You guys took your Christian ideal, overwrote those girls' stuff. You needed them to complete it. And then you guys fight with them. I haven't even seen them forever. They're changing into basically looking like my aunts. And Joe's sitting there lying to everyone that they didn't do it. But you guys did. That's what happens, Bernard, when you got that level of racism going on, claiming that you're saving women, when basically, like I said, Harry and those guys tricked children when it was running the other way. They tricked them to flop it this direction so they can go the other way and have their paradise. How in the fuck are you helping anyone, the military, the police, anyone that had to live through that are left? How are you helping? You're not helping. You guys are profiting off of it, which is typical of the Negroes. And like I said, if Baldy Boy turns and he creates another mess like they did the last time, don't expect him to live too long, because he's all proud of what he does with Elton and them. And Bernard, that's not helping. That's why we can't do anything. Carney. I told you you'd regret it. Making kids eat all that stuff, getting them sick. I told you covering for Joe and them wasn't a good idea, because they knew they were a part of that same development. So Bernard, moving and swapping people around didn't help anything. It made it worse. So now you got to rely on me and Brian again after you guys said you didn't steal it. It all belongs to you all, but it don't work. Point is, Bernard, you and the Freemans and the Antillas and whoever else stole it are the problem. You guys rely on those boxes with the Negroes and all that stuff. I'm not the one that caused their mass suicide. I'm not the one sticking shit in doing that crap. It's your cut up wave. Maybe if you respected those girls and that stuff when it was going, you all wouldn't have had a problem. But instead you guys wanted to hump. So they let Harry and them do it. Don't pretend all of a sudden you're clean, cleansed Christians and shit. That's the problem, Bernard. You have several different ideals of philosophies that worked once together, but then when the arguments came, then it breaks apart, which is typical. That's what happens when girls get involved and guys fall in love. That's what the music's there, telling you guys what typical of what happens. Only if you got really, really lucky did you get to exist in an environment where you got to keep all of it? But that wasn't, the case. That's what happens when you run a hive mentality and you have cults running, Bernard. So when it was running, Bernard, it didn't help that you came running in and telling everybody what to do, or the Robo Knight and all that. Will it work again? Eventually, if you guys give a shit. But like I said, if you guys respected what those girls wanted and didn't strip it down so you could have sex with them, then it would have still worked. So it's you men that kind of got to change your ideal. But pissing off the girls and have them trying to kill me, I mean, Bernard, they've already done it before. And most of them know their routine. I'm sorry, man, but I don't do fag. And then you guys got racism on it. On top of it, you basically programmed the hive to do that. There's not much more I can do, Bernard. CERN and them are working on it. But they got to figure out what the Until Experimentator man pulled out. They'll put it back in. And guess what? If I were to die and bring me back, I'd do the same thing to put it back in, because that's what we did to get it to work, Bernard. They didn't make it difficult for the children to do. But you guys flopped the tube, and you guys defied her setup, Joe. And you guys always have. So what do you want me to do after she's gone, Bernard? I didn't kill her. I'm sure she's around, but she probably doesn't want to deal with any of you too much, because she doesn't want to lose what she has left. And I would have to agree. So, told you guys, it works for everyone if you don't fuck it up. But Bernard, throwing us to the street and having us sleep funny and no money, all that stuff that you guys do. I'm telling you, my dad and some of them come from an older stock, and they don't have too much sympathy after it's screwed up. They'll set you guys, people in, and get it going, but once you disrespect, it doesn't mean that he doesn't love those people or whatever. I'm just saying, dude, it's delicate and fragile, and you guys had your show-off fest. It's not really, you can do a performance with it, but sorry. Like I said, you guys had your fun time when I wasn't here. You guys said I didn't exist, but I did. And then Perlita's swapping stuff out, trying to get her family, and I'm like, the only way I can help her is if I redo it again. But guess what? They mocked her, and Karen mocked it up based upon something of the past down there. That's what happens. And that guy's got a huge, huge tree of stuff pretty much on all of you, which is what he does. I can't do anything about it. He's been waiting their whole lifetime for it, because they're trying to build a society, Bernard. You guys make up a story, but you got to ask if he even wanted Carney either. And he probably didn't, because it's a nuisance. So, like I said, I'm sure they'll get it going eventually once the mess dies down, but he wanted me to reset it. It hasn't been done forever. I don't have the stuff to do it, and it's not really safe to do it. I know that's what you guys are trying, but the thing is, Bernard, you let that group of people do whatever they want, and there's not much I can do about it. So they can live their lie if they want, but they're mass murderers. And they were the before and the last time. That's why it is the way it is. We tried bringing you out. Some of those other girls tried bringing you out, but you guys just don't respect it. You guys seem to think you're getting over on something, but it's in the consciousness already. And that's what happens when you guys destroy waves and memories and evolve it and de-evolve it and all that stuff. We've gone through this discussion before. So congratulations, you and Perlita made it. But I don't care, because it wasn't beneficial to everyone, which is typical. I don't have millions of dollars, Bernard. I did it for free. I like doing certain things because he gave me an ability, but once you destroy that, like I said, some of those guys, you get one shot at it, and that's all you get. So if you want to learn how to make the secret sauce, Bernard and your team, you guys got to go down there and ask them how to do it, and have them teach you. And the chances of that happening after all that debacle down there, pretty rare. So you guys got to pretty much wait for a natural to happen, if they still do, if they didn't take everything. And that might be the only thing that Brian and them guard, Bernard, because it's the only thing left. So chances of it happening, probably zilch. So, welcome to a pretty hostile planet. That's why they wanted you all interested in the space program and getting those girls prepared for it, Bernard. They didn't have to be super smart, because they wanted them to experience another physical reality to give them perspective. not be held prisoner on a planet by a bunch of wackadoo cult members.